That night, Sido lay on her wooden board, her stomach still heaving, feeling that death would be preferable to this. She finally fell asleep. But at around 3 a.m, she was roughly woken by a guard. He grabbed hold of her arm and dragged her through the dormitory. Sido couldn't help stumbling. Her leg hurt. Her head ached. She was taken up some stone stairs to a small door. The guard knocked and pushed her inside, closing the door behind her. It was dark in the room, but she knew instantly that she was not alone. There was a smell of expensive cologne that she recognized. "We meet again." A light was struck and a candle lit. There before her stood Citizen Kallivoski. He dusted down his tailored coat. "How do you find your new home?" he asked as a thin smile curled across his lips. Sido averted her eyes. He repulsed her. His face waxwork smooth, a mask that hid the beast within. "You wouldn't be in this situation if your papa had been wiser. Such an ill-advised escape." Sido said nothing. All she had to protect herself against him was silence. It comforted her to see a flicker of irritation cross his emotionless face. "I've seen your father. He is not himself. He believes me to be Lucifer, the all-powerful. In the circumstances, I have to take it as a compliment." He stopped, observing beads of sweat on her forehead. How pale she looked. "You'll be glad to know that when your father wrote to me saying he wished to end the betrothal, I saw it as no more than a symptom of the madness that now afflicts him. I am a generous man, and my offer of marriage still stands. If you agree, I will make sure that the charges against you are dropped, and that you are both freed. I see no reason why your father should not live out his days at the chateau in Normandy." Sido began to feel icy cold, even though the room was hot and stuffy. Still, she remained silent. Kallivoski let out a mirthless laugh as he remembered the way her mother had stood before him all those years ago, when she had refused to become his mistress. She had paid a high price for that mistake. "I need a reply," he said. Sido felt as if the walls were slowly moving in on her as he came closer. "Don't flinch," she told herself desperately. "Stand tall. Think of Jan." She held her breath as Kallivoski stroked the side of her face, then her neck, pressing his thumb and forefinger into her soft flesh, feeling for her pulse. She knew from the power of his grip that he could strangle her with ease. Her quiet resistance was beginning to fascinate him. It seemed that he might have been wrong about her. Maybe, after all, she would turn out to be a worthy opponent. If she had fallen on her knees and begged for mercy, he would have despised her. Could it be that this girl was a more serious-minded version of her mother? The thought thrilled him. Oh yes, she was proving herself to be a prize worth waiting for. Instinctively, Sido turned her face away and tried to free herself. He took hold of her arms, pinning them behind her back so that she could not move. He said in a whisper, his lips brushing against her neck, "There may be a way out of this prison, but there is no escape from me. I will be the first man to kiss you, to bed you, whether you come willingly or not. You will be mine, and mine alone. Do you understand?" Sido could hardly hear the words above the whirling sound in her head. A wave of heaviness swept over her. She hoped that she had said, I would rather die than marry you. She could not be sure, for all there was turned black.